On the phone with us right now is CPAC Chairman Matt Schlapp. And, of course, the other big event for Ted Cruz tonight was getting this CPAC straw poll. That is a big wind at your back among certainly conservatives who see in Mr. Cruz a guiding light. And, Matt, good to have you back with us. I wonder how much of that was decided by Donald Trump skipping out on a speech, because I noticed he didn't even come in second, he came in third. Your thoughts on that?
Yeah, look, I think it was a big mistake. I think, you know.
But would it have changed things, Matt, if he had spoken? Or did Donald Trump read the writing on the wall? I'm not going to win this thing.
Neil, you know this, and I think everyone knows this, which is conservatives know that Ted Cruz is the orthodox conservative. They love a lot of things they hear from Trump, but there's a lot of question marks because he hasn't been in public office and they don't know where he is on everything and where he's going to be. So doing symbolic things like coming to CPAC and courting conservatives is more important for Trump than anyone. And I think skipping it sent a message, not just to the conservatives here who met at CPAC, but the conservatives who were watching from all over the country, that, you know, Donald Trump was willing to skip the most important conservative event of the year. And they're trying to decide whether they want to be with this guy, whether they like a lot of what they hear, or should they just go with Rubio or Cruz? And I think what tonight has showed us is a lot of conservatives are breaking to Cruz.
Now, is that too late, though, in terms of, you don't, here I'm violating what I said at the outset of the show, Matt, that for all the fuss and attention to the inevitability of a Donald Trump, he's only a quarter of the way there to 1237, maybe a little more now, given his pickups tonight. But for Cruz to be surging at this time, and particularly with conservatives, and you're quite right, I agree with you there, that is a powerful wind at your back. But is that wind too late?
Look, I've said publicly that I think Donald Trump is the likely nominee, but it's not done. And he needs to be sure-footed in the decisions he makes, and he's made some bad decisions.
Like what? What does he have to do, man? I did catch some of that. What do you think he has to do?
I think he has to make it very clear to conservatives, who are at least two-thirds of the people voting in these primaries, that he is going to be with them, that they don't have to be concerned about where he's going to be. Yes, he doesn't have a voting record, but he is going to be with them on these issues, and I think he has to do that. And I think what we've seen tonight is conservatives still have question marks about Donald Trump. I still think it's likely he gets the nomination, but, you know, I think Ted Cruz showed tonight that if there is going to be an alternative to Trump, it's more likely going to be him.
All right, but that relies on some other guys hopping out or being forced out, right? Obviously, I'm talking about Marco Rubio and John Kasich, but how likely is that?
Well, that's a great point. I mean, if they all keep staying in the race, you know, it's going to be a muddled mess, and it's hard for anybody to say they are the Trump alternative. That being said, I mean, Marco Rubio said today at CPAC that he would win Florida. You know, if he doesn't win Florida, I think he's got a really tough question to ask himself, and I think it changes. But look, here's the question. You started off, Neil. Donald Trump is in a very strong position to get this nomination, but he hasn't done this before. He's a rookie at running for president, and if he can make the right decisions, I think he's going to get it. The thing is sometimes he's erratic, and I think he's been erratic lately.
You know, Matt, did you get the call from Trump that he wasn't going to go?
I didn't talk to on that particular decision. I didn't talk to him, but I've talked to him many times. And look, I have a good relationship with him. I just think they didn't understand the ramifications.
So I don't want to get personally into your people and everything else. Who did that call go to? I know there's Donald Trump picked up the phone. Did he call personally? Did his people call? Donald can't make it. He's going to be campaigning in Wichita. He's going to go to Orlando. He has a big event. Who made that call?
I talked to his campaign manager to settle on what the decision was going to be, and the decision was we weren't going to accept him on his terms. We would only accept candidates on our terms.
Well, what were his terms? In other words, he would have spoken, but for what?
Yes. He didn't want to have to answer the question.
Oh, I see. So.
And you know what? When you're the front runner, you don't like anything that can throw kind of like sand in the gears. But when you come to CPAC, you got to take the questions. You know what's funny is Donald Trump is really good at the questions. He's good at getting attacked. I mean, if he gets a few boos from an audience, that's never held him back. So I just think it was a bad mistake.
Yeah, I was surprised at that, but he might have calculated, look, I might get a bigger bang for the buck trying to nail down Kansas, which he didn't with the Wichita speed. Or maybe plant some seeds in Florida where he is right now. We'll never know, right? We'll never know.
We'll never know. And on to Kansas, and I think he was always going to have a hard time in Kansas because that caucus is dominated by social conservatives and evangelical voters, and he's done well with them in some places, but it was going to be hard for him in Kansas. And what he didn't understand is it's not just about coming to CPAC, it's the fact that conservatives around the country watch it, and that impacts every one of these states.
All right, Matt, thank you very much. I bet you've had very little sleep over the last few days. Thank you.
I'm a little tired.
Yeah, thank you, as always. You're more coherent, though, when you're trying than I am.